Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Kimberly Harrison. Welcome to my vlog. Today's topic, behavior change. Parents are often frustrated when they tell their children repeatedly to do something or not do something and get no response. Once you learn a few basic principles of behavior change, it can make things a lot easier around the house. We're going to learn today how to change things up. First of all, you have to look at the willingness to change. When a person wants to change, they usually do. The problem with the parenting is that our kids often aren't interested. Teenagers usually want to change in the direction of whatever their friends want. And children are often just, lost in their own world and their own interests, and they don't see the point of what a parent might want. The name of my group in Houston is the Conative group. Conative is that force of the psyche that makes us want to grow and change. And it's one of the most important factors in life to help us move forward and do things differently. But children and teenagers aren't always wired to change in the ways that parents want. So if you learn a few basic principles of behavior, then it can help. So one, if you're waiting for them to be willing to change, may or may not happen. So the strategies that science tells us work are really what you need to do. Now let's also look at what not to do. Yelling and nagging, they don't work. Parents have tried for generations, and yelling and nagging just don't work. Why? Because they're not motivational. They are ways to offload your stress. They're ways to show how frustrated you are, but they don't do anything for behavior change. To change behavior, you need to employ either reinforcers or consequences. Reinforcers are designed to help improve or increase a wanted behavior. Very simple. Reinforce means increase. Consequences are designed to decrease an unwanted behavior. Research shows that reinforcers work a lot better than consequences. In fact, positive reinforcers tend to work 5 to 7 times more effectively than anything else. So, what's a positive reinforcer? Well, positive means you add something. It's a plus, right? So, you add something to the situation to increase a wanted behavior. Things such as thumbs up, high five, good job. Any of those things are positive reinforcers. Consequences, on the other hand, can be positive as well. A positive consequence, you add something to decrease an unwanted behavior. So you might add a chore to a teenager's schedule if they're not doing what you've asked them to do. Positive consequences sometimes work, and sometimes you do have to use them. But remember, the reinforcer is more effective. You can also have negative reinforcers. A lot of people don't think about that. Negative just means minus or take away. You take away something to increase a wanted behavior. So again, you could use chore as a reinforcer. If you finish all of your homework and double check it and show me that you've accomplished all of that, then you won't have to empty the dishwasher tonight. So it's a negative reinforcer. Consequences can also be negative. These are the ones that I see parents employ most often. Sometimes they're necessary, but if you can avoid getting into a negative consequence, then you usually have better results long term. And we're looking at long-term change. But a negative consequence would be taking away the phone or taking away screen time, something like that. So we're going to look at ways to add positive reinforcers. There's a couple of very important factors when you're using reinforcers and consequences. And the most important one is they have to be immediate. You have to do it right then. So if, for example, a child is sitting at the dinner table, and let's say you've got two kids who typically bicker at the dinner table, and you want to change that, and one of the children is sitting there and starts that look, the look to the sibling, and you know it's about to start, And then for whatever reason, the child just looks away for a moment. Catch them right then and say, wow, I saw you changing your behavior right then. I saw you not fighting. That's terrific. Wow, good job. If you see a child doing their homework and you know that they typically get off task and start fidgeting or looking at something else in the room, and you see them look away and then glance back at their work, catch them right then and say, wow, I noticed how you just helped yourself get right back to work. You want to shape the behavior through these positive comments. Sometimes you can catch them doing something right and just, thumbs up. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Another important factor with reinforcers is to know what works for that person. Not everybody responds the same way to different reinforcers. Sometimes children, especially, need something very concrete, and that's where we get into stickers or stamps or tick marks on a little post-it note, something where they get a visual, a concrete reinforcer. It says, I see you doing this, and then they can look at it and they can remember that, oh yes, this means I did the right thing. Sometimes children need something that is future oriented, and that's fine, but you have to give them a reinforcer in the moment. And so if they want to accrue an extra 30 minutes of video game time that evening, you can't give them that 30 minutes right then and there if they're trying to do homework or a chore or something. But you can give them a little tick mark on a page so that they can see, oh yes, I'm accruing my time. There are many, many systems out there, but you'll find that positive reinforcers are the most effective. When you select a system, make sure it's something you can actually do and keep up with. If you start, stop, it tends to be demotivational, and children will soon come to think that, gosh, there's another crazy thing mom and dad are trying. So try to pick something you can stick with. I like things that are just verbal or visual cues so that everybody can, just have whatever they need in the moment. You can always have a thumbs up with you. The last thing that I want to mention when it comes to changing behavior is that you have to give as much positive energy as you can. Think about how much time and energy we spend with the negative stuff. We physically get larger usually when our frustration level is high. Our voices get louder. We're bigger, and we spend more time talking about whatever the thing is. And usually when a child does something well, we say, oh yeah, good job, great. And that's it. And so when we want to change behavior, we also want to spend some time periodically talking about the good stuff, telling them how proud we are of all the hard work they've done. Instead of spending 20 seconds yelling, spend 20 seconds filling up what I call their love cup on the inside. Fill them with positive energy on a regular basis. If you remember that positive reinforcers and positive time and energy can really change behavior, I think you'll see some changes around the house. Remember, in the end, you have to do the best you can with what you've got. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.